Welcome to Who Wrote That Up for You, a daily podcast that shines a light on the American justice system and its role in empowering the powerful to take from you. The justice system is the only branch of your government where an individual, rather than the collective, can make the system act for you. It puts power in the individual's hands, but it's broken and being used against you at a time when you need it most.
And we are live on Who Wrote That Up for You. Today is Friday, October 7th, 2022. I'm Sonia Evelyn, a co-founder at Courtroom 5.
And I'm Deborah Sloan, the other co-founder at Courtroom 5.
We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. In a few moments, we'll speak with Isabella. She had occasion to seek an attorney, and we'll hear something about her experience. We began our podcast speaking with Brian Vukadenovich, a very sophisticated pro se litigant who had occasion to actually write a book about his multiple experiences with the legal system. And we've spoken with a wide number of lawyers and other practitioners in the industry since then. But we wanted to spend some more time and took the opportunity today to speak with a consumer of legal services. And so we're looking forward to getting some input there. But before we get started, Deborah, what's on your mind today? What is our issue of the day?
Okay. Yeah. Once a week, we try to cover the general topic of things that make pro se litigants lose in court. And the reason why we know these things is because we've lost in court based on them. And we've watched other people flounder. And we're trying to we're trying to help people avoid making the same mistakes we made. So today, one way pro se litigants lose is reacting badly to lawyer crap. Now, remember this phrase, litigation privilege. It means that lawyers can do especially to a pro se litigant or a self represented litigant, to protect their clients. They can lie, steal, cheat to win. And in fact, if you're a pro se litigant and a lawyer sees you coming, part of their strategy is, first of all, your lack of knowledge, your oftentimes lack of confidence, and the fact that you're just a pro se litigant. They are right that they just sharpen their knives on pro se litigants. They can scare defendants into paying more than they owe, or plaintiffs into settling for far less than they deserve. They oftentimes, this happens a lot, use a request for admissions to make pro se litigants, quote, admit to undeserved liability when they don't respond to the request for admissions. And some will even attempt to keep a court reporter by lying to you or to your court reporting agency. That happened to us. That's why I'm bringing it up. And I mean, it goes on and on. And so my point today is, don't react with anger and start, moving for sanctions without thinking it out. Writing letters to the judge, reporting the lawyer's behavior in a hearing, anything like that. We know there are certain things that have to be addressed. But in general, if they're not hurting your case, just let them carry on, and you stay focused. Keep your eye on the ball. Stay focused on your case. And that's my point today.
That's extraordinary. There's a lot there. I guess I should start by saying we love lawyers who are assisting our customers at Courtroom 5. They generally don't behave this way. And, it's interesting because, per se, lay people, when you get into any kind of situation, you expect a certain amount of fair dealing from everybody involved. And I think oftentimes people come to court or involved in litigation thinking that the table is set fairly, or at least that the judge will maintain a fair playing field, and it's unfortunately not true. It's a very adversarial system. And lawyers' job is to advocate on behalf of their clients, not on behalf of other people in the system. And so, yeah, you can expect to get beat up by any means necessary when you're dealing with an experienced litigator. From their perspective, I'm not a lawyer, and I wouldn't ascribe to this, but from their perspective, it's not unethical to do whatever is necessary to advocate for their clients. It's actually, their ethics require them to do whatever is necessary to advocate for their clients. And so things can get a bit turned around there dealing with opponents and counsel. But as I said, we love lawyers who are assisting our customers at Courtroom Five and welcome them. So, and frankly, we've hired lawyers, Deborah and I, individually and together, and you know, we love the lawyers who advocate for us by beating up our opponents. Right? That's what you hire them to do. So just as they say in the community, hate the game, not the player. Right? The lawyers are doing their jobs in these situations. But yeah, it's very wise counsel from Deborah to just understand the playing field you're on. Don't expect fair dealing when you're involved in litigation. Well, with that, Who Wrote That Up For You is sponsored by Courtroom 5. At Courtroom 5, we believe the courts belong to the people, in particular to the people who use them. And we, the people, are coming to claim our courts. So if you're in court without a lawyer, or you need to sue someone and can't afford a lawyer to represent you, get yourself over to courtroom5.com. Try a limited version of our services there for free, and hopefully we can provide some relief and assistance for you there. All right, at this time, it is my great pleasure to welcome onto the show Isabella. Isabella, thank you for joining us on Who Wrote That Up For You. It is a huge benefit, I think, to our listeners to hear from regular legal consumers about your experience with the legal system. So I just want to thank you up front for joining us there. What is it that caused you to go in search of legal assistance? Share what you will about the background there.
My partner's mother passed away and left a trust for, or an executive of trust in charge of her estate. We knew her estate was worth more than what the person paid out in beneficiary fees, I guess. And so, as a result of getting just a very small portion of the estate, we decided to contact an attorney.
How did you go about finding an attorney to help you?
I believe I went through some like bar service. I think I may have contacted the bar, and they gave me a list of names, and then I was able to find the one that was in my area.
Fantastic. What was your sort of expectation around the transaction? Like what were you wanting a lawyer to do for you in that circumstance?
Um, I wanted the attorney to be able to step in and help us regroup or recoup the funds that we felt we deserved, and it was just more than just she and I. There was a total of 17 of us, and it may have been 15 with two charities, but the 15 of us for sure only got like $8,000. And the executor sent in a spreadsheet saying that she only had 130,000 in the bank, and we knew she had more funds, way more funds than that.
Yeah. Did you have like an estimate of what you don't have to share this, but did you have an understanding of what that estate should have been valued at?
Minimum 500,000, maybe a
And you
little
all
more.
And
minimum.
you all got 8,000 a piece and thought there should have been much more.
Oh yeah.
Understood. Understood. Yeah. And so you were looking for just an accounting. Were you able to communicate with the trust and maybe get some
We
questions answered?
yeah, we tried, but she was pretty difficult to deal with, and sometimes non-responsive. She didn't even let us know when the estate sale was, and there were some valuable items there. And so we've never even gotten anything about the estate sale.
Understood. Understood. And so you found a lawyer. So what was your expectation of what would happen after? Well, before I ask that, I'm sorry. You had a number of options for legal assistance, including this lawyer that you chose. Were there reasons that you selected this specific one?
When I went in and to talk to this one, he said that he had been doing this for 30 years and that he was pretty confident that he could win this case.
So he gave you all some confidence that you were making a good choice by going with him. Understood.
Right.
And so, what was your understanding? You were going to pay him, obviously,
Hmm.
and he was going to
We,
perform some work.
yeah, we paid him a nice little retainer, and he was going to do all of the research, and dig up whatever he could, find the properties that were sold, and get an estimate on that, and then he would find out as much as he could find out about what her estate should have been. He was guessing that it may be over 1 million.
Wow, wow, that's it. That's interesting. And did you get a sense then of how long the process might take, and
We
how much it might
Yeah, we kind of understood it would take about at least a year. So we were prepared for that. But as the year approached, um, he started kind of backpedaling and he seemed like he was just dragging his feet. He wasn't as responsive to us and getting back to us. And then my partner Joe insisted that we meet with him, and so of course because she's relentless, they had to meet with us. And so he found out really how sharp and how smart Joe was at that time. And so, we thought that okay, we just moved in another positive direction, that he was gonna, because Joe would have been an extremely good witness if we had to go to court. And like a few weeks later, he started asking for more money.
I see. I see. That is very unfortunate. So the at that period, about a year had passed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while.
Understood. Understood. We'll take a quick break here. Thank you for sharing that background. Want to have Deborah share the challenge for next week. Let's take a quick break and then we'll bring you back, Isabella, just a moment here
Okay.
to hear the rest of the story.
All
Thank
right.
you. My goodness, that is a fascinating, but not untypical. Unfortunately, not untypical
All
circumstance
right.
there. Looking forward to hearing. But Deborah, who won yesterday's challenge, and what do you have tea for us on next week?
Okay, we have a repeat winner. Here's the question. Kelsey sued Dr. Fig Newton for medical malpractice. Kelsey sent Dr. Newton interrogatories and he did not respond within the allotted 30-day period. What's the best next step for Kelsey? The next best step for Kelsey is a good faith effort to get the discovery without court involvement. And good faith means trying to, without going to court, sending an email, sending a letter, making a phone call to inquire, well, say something like, when can I expect you to respond or your client to respond to my interrogatories? That's a good faith effort because oftentimes you can't do anything with the court without there being some type of good faith effort to get the um, discovery on your own. So the winner is BBM. This is the second time. So today's quiz is: what must you prove in a motion for summary judgment? What must you prove for in a motion for summary judgment? If you want to participate in today's quiz, send your responses to quiz@courtroom5.com.
Looking forward to seeing those answers. Hopefully, we'll have a winner there on Monday. Fantastic. Let us bring back Isabella to continue that discussion. Isabella, as if I can just capture what some of what we've heard. Your partner's mother passed away, and you all were among the beneficiaries there, and you received payments as beneficiaries that you thought were insufficient given the wealth you understood her to have. And so you hired a lawyer, retained a lawyer to get an accounting, right, of the trust. And well, let's take it from there. About a year into that process, the lawyer started asking for more money. Had there been any work, returned to you? Were you able to get some insight into what work the lawyer had performed by that time?
He would, when we met with him, he, told us, what he had done. And then and he had a couple times through that, throughout that year. But, and we had to like ask him for invoices so that we could see what he was, um, how much he was putting towards those, um, his services. And, reluctantly, he sent us a couple here and there. I don't remember getting, invoice for like each every month. He didn't give us one every month. So, and because it was kind of so long ago, a few years, it's a little difficult to recall some of it. But yeah, so he just wasn't invested in it. And he was invested in getting our money, but he wasn't invested in helping us.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, but you did have a sense, I guess, through the invoices at least, that you were being billed for specific activities. You have a
Yeah.
phone
And
call or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then he decided he needed, I believe it was something like $2,000 or $3,000 a month from us at that
Wow.
point.
Wow.
And he had initially said that if we had to go to court, or if anything else happened, he was going to do it on a contingency basis. That
Sure.
never, and so I think I may have tried to bring it up, and he kind of glossed over, um, but he never referred back to that contingency, that he had talked about. And I know I didn't misunderstand him because I
Sure.
know what contingency is. So when he asked us for more money, I was very surprised. And at that point, we figured he was just scamming people.
My goodness. My goodness. The year. So you all had paid him a fairly significant retainer. I don't believe you told us the amount, but nonetheless, you paid her just to you know get him started there. The bills, the invoices you received did you have to pay them, or
No,
were the funds that you had deposited initially being used to pay those invoices?
the funds that we paid initially, and we paid, it was a $10,000 retainer,
Wow.
and the funds were being, I guess, taken out of that.
Right, right. So those funds were depleted, and then the attorney wanted another 2 or 3 thousand per month to
Yeah,
continue working.
mm,
I see. I see.
And I don't even know if they were truly depleted because he was scamming us. So
hmm.
yeah.
Do you know if a case was ever filed or if he got any information? Did you, uh, what, in your opinion, did you get out of the engagement?
Uh, I got out of a headache, not receiving any real service, and paying money to somebody that clearly didn't deserve it.
That is unfortunate. I am. Did you have an opportunity to go back to the referral agency, the ones that sent you the
Um,
information about
no, because by then I didn't. It's one of the things that I didn't even think to keep or hang on to because I never thought that, you know, I'd be dealing with an attorney that was a scam artist, and especially as long as he say he's been in business. And some people around here seem to think he's got a pretty decent reputation, but um, I'm like, you just don't know the half of it.
Understood. Understood. Well, hopefully that is not, like I said, representative of the legal profession as a whole. But certainly your experience is not unique.
Yeah.
We've heard of other people being not getting what they expected from their retainers in that way. Let me ask then, going forward, if you find yourself in need of legal services or a lawyer in some future event, what would you do different, if anything?
Well, now we have um, attorneys through our company. And so, or with some, you know, how they form groups and then, so, and I do have one for my estate, who happens to know this one. And he was kind of excited when he saw that that other guy had done my estate planning. And I just looked at him and told him, don't even start talking about that guy. And so he backed right off. Like, okay. But you can tell the difference in the attorneys in their integrity.
That's fantastic. So you are getting what you expect from the lawyers
This
serving
one,
you now.
yes, I am.
That's good to that's good to hear. That is fantastic. Well,
Mhm.
Isabella, thank you again for being willing to share your story
My
and your
pleasure.
experience on who wrote that up for you. We value hearing from legal consumers and people who are engaging this profession. So just very grateful for you, and hopefully there will be some resolution at least down the line for your situation there. But thank you
All
again
right.
for
Thank
joining.
you. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. It's again, the experience is not certainly not representative. Deborah and I, have had very good services from lawyers, but we also know that what Isabella experienced there happens to a number of people. There maybe there's miscommunication. Oftentimes there is abuse of people who just don't aren't able to pay lots and lots and lots of money, and there's inherently, in my opinion at least, just a lack of transparency for consumers. Like, how long is this going to take? What's the ultimate cost here? And so, we would hope for some change in that system and certainly more accountability there. But that's all we have for you today. As always, Deborah and I will take this weekend off. Happy Friday and good enjoy the weekend, everybody, and we will see you again on Monday. Thanks, everybody.
Are you feeling beleaguered, angry, or afraid, as if things are spinning out of control and you're powerless to stop them? It's easy to just let things slide and hope they don't get worse. But they often do get worse. The thing is, you're not powerless. Our courts belong to us, and their purpose is to give power to the powerless. Don't let your grievances pile up without redressing them. You can handle this in court. Or if someone takes you to court, you can take them to school.